Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, hosted by two nationally published Atlanta interior designers, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. These energetic women are also world travelers, charity givers, and bloggers with a wealth of information to share and stories to tell about the interior design world. Okay, now just a warning, this is going to be fun and not too serious. After all, they still do have an interior design business running at full speed.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 102 of Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. And today we have linen expert and founder of Beflax Linen, Katerina Rothman. So she's the founder of Beflax Linen, which offers 100% pure linen bedding and home decor products for bedrooms, kitchens, and bathrooms. She's going to talk with us today about the importance and benefits of linen, how to choose the right fabric for your home, and styling tips using linen.
But before we dive in, we are happy to announce that this podcast is being sponsored by ProSource. ProSource is a locally owned and operated operation here in Marietta, Georgia, that we use, but they're nationwide. They're a wholesale company that sells direct to the trade, so designers, builders, and installers. Like I said, we work with the Marietta showroom, and their team is so phenomenal. They are our go-to for all kinds of materials, for kitchen and bath, our tile, our hardwood, it's endless. So the most important thing we want to tell you for this episode is their half-yearly sale starts in April by the time this airs. So, and it's 5 to 10% off the wholesale price. So that's a big deal because their prices are already great. So ProSource is really a great source for us, and they're about to celebrate their 20th anniversary. So be sure to reach out and schedule a visit and tell them we sent you.
Okay, so welcome, Katerina.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies. I absolutely excited to talk to you today.
Well, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started this amazing company.
So I guess my story can be called generational. It can be called an American dream. One of the last ones out there. I originally was born in Russia, moved here to States with my husband, who was a hot sleeper back in the day, and I was looking for reasons, for solutions for him to help him sleep better. And pretty much that's how I came to learning about all the amazing benefits of linen, and my mom being a great craftsman who works with different type of textiles. She always saw plenty of clothes for me while I was growing up. Now she's into quilting. So she was my inspiration behind starting the Beflax company. So I pretty much include my whole family into starting this business.
Did you meet your husband here in the States?
No, we actually met in Russia. He was there for work for about 10 years, and that's when we met on one of the work events. And we like to joke that I'm a mail order bride that he put in the luggage and brought over here. That's why it's an American dream.
That's hilarious. So you currently live in Colorado. Did you move straight to Colorado when you came from Russia?
That's a great question. So I grew up in Moscow, quite a large city. So my husband said that let's go to New York first to decompress you from one culture to another, but still in a big city. And that after a couple of years, he kind of felt that it's time to go home, because he grew up in Colorado and the rest of the family is here. So it was a right move for us, because we also planned to start a family, and it's hard to walk with a stroller in between the concrete jungles of New York.
That's funny. My sister grew up after college, she spent a lot of time in New York City, and she had her 2 kids in New York City, and then she felt the same way. She was like, yeah, it's time for me to move out. So,
all right. So how do you go from wanting to help him out to starting, where did you even begin?
So, I think for me it was all pieces of the puzzle kind of came together. I believe I was an entrepreneur at heart, and I constantly was looking for an ideas to develop, to make my own business. I graduated with marketing and economics degree, so all of like the business part of running business was very, very close to me. I worked a lot in a corporate world, and of course I thought that I work with so many departments. I absolutely know how to run a business. The idea was something that I couldn't figure out what to get busy with. And ladies, you'll be laughing. There was everything from a water bottle service to dating agency to creating a fashion app. It was a mess. However, my idea was waiting for me, as I like to say, pretty much at home, because as I said, Mom was a huge inspiration as she worked with textiles. Then my future husband had those sleeping issues, and eventually I became a mom, and just having that little precious human being in my arms felt like I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to be away from her, and that was my final push to start the company.
It's amazing, having a child, how the priorities change, and because so many female entrepreneurs feel this same way, and I think it's what really catapults us into going for it, because we have a really good reason to go for it.
Absolutely. So I want to dive into really discussing linen, but before we do that, I have to tell you that so we're in Atlanta and it's getting really warm here. Spring has sprung, and Joanne and I wear linen probably 90% of the time throughout spring and summer. So I was just organizing my closet this weekend, and I probably have 50 pieces that I have to iron. It is the bane of my existence during this time of year, because I like it kind of, soft and a little bit wrinkled, but for work, I still, I need to iron everything. So I iron for hours.
There's something about linen. I am so attracted to linen. So now all this spring, clothing is out there, and I'll be flipping through the racks, and if I see linen, I immediately grab it. And it's a beautiful white linen top, and I'll be like, I have 8 white linen tops. Why am I looking for another one?
If you have 8, I've got 15.
Well, the stitching is in a little bit of a different spot, Yeah, so we are big linen fans, and we're hoping you're going to bring it into clothing, but I want to hear. This is so amazing to me. So you use flaxseed, okay, which is mostly known as a food. So tell us about these fibers and like what your process is. This is like I can't quite figure out how you do this.
Yes, I will share about that in just a second. Let me just note that you guys are the perfect profile for linen lovers and linen addicts. I had a back thought to start the Linen Anonymous club for all of us.
Oh, that is
linen
totally me.
Lovers.
I'll be the president.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll be the vice president. Yeah, I mean, it's literally like this is our uniform in spring and summer. Linen kind of tunic, kind of roomy and big, with leggings or kind of tight jeans underneath, funky shoes, and crazy jewelry, and that's
Kelly,
it.
and I'm probably the one with the long with the little slits on the side.
Yep.
Nothing around the waist.
Yeah, she's better in linen dresses than I am.
Let's stop talking about ourselves. We need to hear about this
but I'm so excited.
I want to hear about the process.
Ladies, linen is women's best friend, and we'll have time to touch points on why is that. So you asked about the flax seed. This is a very well-known term. We have it in our oatmeal. We use it in our shakes, various of other foods. Excuse me, got tangled with my words there. Flaxseed is coming from the top of the flax plant, while linen fibers are coming from the stalks of the flax plant. So it's a beautiful plant, first of all, because of those little tiny blue flowers, but the beauty of it is in its sustainability. You pretty much have zero waste. when you manufacture, when you process flax. And in our world, where we finally started paying more attention to sustainability and eco-friendliness, I think it's a very important thing to think about. In few words, the process of making linen requires a lot of manual work, and that adds on to the price of the fabric, to the price of the end result. That's why linen is considered the high price commodity. It's considered the luxury fabric. The good quality linen will never be cheap. And I think this is one important thing to take out of our conversation today. If you see a cheap piece of linen, ask yourself, where is it made, and what's the actual composition of this fabric. I'm not going to go into details. That's a good point to make.
Yeah, because some linens are really thin and others kind of have a really beautiful weight to them.
Well, some don't always say where they're from. Every now and then you'll see Italian linen,
or Belgian,
but those are usually the only two that I see.
There is also, it's important to keep in mind that linen can be of a different weight, because linen is such a versatile fabric that it can be used for clothes, for batting, it can be used for your upholstery, and you need at least 3 different type of linens for those 3 categories that I just named. So, yeah, linen is truly, truly versatile, and the best quality linen is actually coming from Europe, from Belgium, and I believe that the closer your linen fabric is produced to the source of cultivating flax, the better. I think it's true for many.
Why is that?
For many industries. Just because if you move it around, think that how much cost you put into transportation of the raw flax, and then all the emissions. And if we're talking about sustainability and eco-friendliness, it kind of contradicts the whole aspect, in my opinion. As well, old traditions of making linen are coming from Europe, and I'm a believer if you're working with the weavers that have decades of experience, that's probably better than someone new who just build a factory. And well, I certainly hope they know what they are doing. This is maybe it's just a personal preference, but I am certainly a believer that it should be kept close to the source, without much connotation to other producers. When you move it away, do you have a good control of all your manufacturing processes, or you lose it? And I know the linen that can come from China, there has been a lot of negative things said about the quality of the linen, just because they started mixing other plants, other fabrics, together with linen to make it cheaper, to make it more resistant, but it loses in quality and as well as on the natural benefits that linen can provide. Again, I'm not going to say that it's true for all the linen that's coming from China, but I've been informed about that by the industry leaders, and I tend to believe that I'd rather keep the better control of my manufacturing processes.
So really quickly, so you mentioned that your husband was dealing with, hot issues or whatever. I'm sure he was not going through menopause like 75% of women are. And so it's amazing to me, the good news about linen and all of the things that it does in regard to like hot flashes and night sweats. So tell us a little bit more, about that.
Linen, as I previously mentioned, is truly a woman's best friend. It is, first of all, it's a natural fabric. Why would you want to put a piece of synthetic or plastic on you when you can wear natural or sleep on natural? The natural aspect brings the breathability of the fabric, which a lot of other natural fabrics out here can do the same thing, such as cotton, for example, or hemp. They're also all breathable. The beauty of linen in comparison to cotton and why it is great for hot flashes, for hot sleepers, for people who would like their temperature to be regulated by, let's say, their bedding while they sleep during hot summer nights, or while they're sleeping during colder winter nights. Linen, is a thermoregulator by itself, just one of those amazing benefits of it. But the beauty of it compared to cotton is that it can wick water much better than cotton. If linen and cotton can both absorb moisture, aka sweat or anything else that bothers you at night, cotton will remain wet. So you kind of, if you sweat it, you kind of gonna roll in your own sweat for a while before it dries out. Linen, on the other hand, dries out fast, and that helps you continue your sleep without tossing and turning, without interrupting it. Another great part about linen that adds to a great sleep is the texture of the fibers of the linen. They give a micro massage during the night, which increases the blood circulation, and as I like to say, you wake up more rejuvenated.
Well, and I also find that when you purchase, like you're saying, the linens coming from Europe and closer to the source is so important, because I find with the higher quality linens, the more you wash them, the softer they get. They actually get better over time, and I feel like they don't wear nearly as quickly. Linen is actually a very, very durable finished product. You would think maybe it wouldn't, but it's quite strong. And so, but I think again, it goes back to the quality of the linen.
You're absolutely right. The more you wash linen, the softer it becomes. It kind of starts working with you. Again, if we're comparing it to cotton comes soft right away. But it's gonna, let's say if we're talking about bedding, but it's gonna last you around 5 years. Mm-hmm. If you opt into linen, it will take a little bit of time to get soft. Again, it's a personal preference. Some people like to feel that texture, some don't.
And I feel like a lot of people, I don't think the average Joe thinks about linen for bedding. Pottery Barn has started to bring in, some other kind of big box stores have started to really market it well, but
when you go to your regular stores, you don't
or sateen, or
you don't see, everybody talks about thread count and everybody talks about cotton. You don't kind of see it. So we know, of course, now that you sell bedding, but what other products does Beflax Linen sell?
My second favorite product after bedding is probably our linen bathrobe, because again, you can, with this piece of clothing, you can enjoy the most of linen benefits, because it covers the most of the surface of your body. It's a great, again, because of the absorbency of linen, you can use it as your towel after the shower. It's your perfect companion for lounging throughout the day. Start your day on the weekend, maybe finish your day with your self-care routines wearing this bathrobe. I even have a client who is practicing energy relief techniques. So she works with the body and just helps people relieve their negative energy out. And she loves to wear our bathrobe on top of her loungy clothes, just to give that flowing effect to her movements when she's teaching others. So that would be probably my next favorite product out of our product line.
Is it machine washable, I'm assuming?
Yes, absolutely. There are a couple of things that you need to pay attention when you care for linen, such as do not expose it to hot water or high heat. That ruins the fibers of the linen and they lose their amazing properties. So we always include in instructions on how to care for our linen with every order we ship out, and we ask not to wash it in hot water. We recommend cold to warm, as well as drying it on a gentle, delicate cycle or lay it out flat. That's
I always wash mine
for many.
I usually do cold, delicate with woolite. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I got a load full in the spring and summer.
Right.
Yeah. No need to scorch it.
I recommend using biodegradable detergent, or at least a liquid detergent. It also kind of helps to preserve the fibers. But I think that's true for most of the fabrics out there.
So how long have you been in business now?
I opened my e-commerce store in December of 2017. So it's been full 3 years of running business. We're now constantly expanding our bedding collections, because again, that's my most favorite product to use, made out of linen. I just love sleeping, and after having 2 kids, this is something that I always looking for at the end of the day. Linen is pretty much my life. I put linen bedding on every bed in my house, even in the crib, and for my toddler, and even for my guests. That's how I turn them into linen lovers.
When are you going to make these linen dresses and shirts for Kelly and I? Because if people love those bathrobes, then I'm sure wearing them all day. Had you thought about going into women's fashion?
Yes, ladies. We're actually thinking about creating our first clothing line. We're thinking to make it kind of like a capsule style. So it's going to be very relaxed, loungy, and at the same time, you'll be able to mix and match the pieces among each other. So this is something we're looking into. Let's see how this year gonna go. Obviously, last year disrupted everyone's processes. Gladly, we're in e-commerce business. Gladly, we're in bedroom sleeping business, so to speak. So that's what people were doing in 2020. But yes, speaking about clothing line, this is something that's on our mind. It's important for me as a business owner not to get ahead of myself, and make sure that first we cover everybody with all the basic colors, all the interesting colors of the linen bedding, and then move towards other departments.
That's very smart. Very smart. And, I see also that you have a blog. When you go to Katerina's website, it's Beflax, Beflax linen.com, that you have a blog. And there's a lot of great, things about wellness and not just about your products, but just other topics in general that are really interesting. So I really love that too.
This is something that I'm going to pay even more attention this year. I just realized I have so much to share about linen and its benefits and its use in our everyday life, together with my sustainable mission. I think it's important to talk about those things. So there is going to be even more interesting information there on the blog, as well as on our social media. We try to provide educational pieces here and there, little tricks and tips that you can do in your everyday life to enrich it with healthiness and beauty.
Yeah, Kelly and I are, female business owners. We've been in business a little longer than you, 15 years, but a lot of times people will ask us, what are you most proud of doing? So what would you say you're most proud of in regard to your business that you've done?
I think my customers. I think the happiness of my customers. I think when I help them solve their issues, their problems. It's my favorite part to receive those thank you notes back. With people just raving about our products, raving about what a relief it gave them, whether they're going through menopause or just they had a terrible sleep, how life-changing it is. One of my other favorite stories is how one of the women clients of mine caught her husband sharing with his pals about how they switched to linen bedding and how his sleep is now amazing and how they should do that the same way. Do we even think about it that the guys can have those type of conversations? That blew my mind completely, but I love that story.
I agree with that. My husband is so picky about our sheets, and it doesn't have to be, it's not really a money thing. It's just, it's all about comfort and softness and for him, and I'll hear about it if I get a pair of sheets and he'll go, a little scratchy, honey. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right. Well, speaking about durability, I mentioned that linen is a high-priced commodity because of all the manual processes that are included, and if you're going to cut corners on those manual processes and use chemical process to achieve the same result, that's going to affect the quality as well as the environment. But for the fact that linen is so durable, if you think about it, you're actually getting a great run for your money. Your linen bedding is going to last you at least a decade. We both know that great linen quality can be a heirloom to the next generations. Like linen can live up to 30, 50 years easily. So if you think about it, the $250, $300 that you spend on a bedding set actually is going to last you 10 years or more. That's less than $25 a year, which is crazy. And it's less hustle of going and buying new sheets and,
I have several sets of really high quality linen napkins that I purchased from Hudson Grace, and they are in these vibrant colors. I've got fuchsia, I've got chartreuse, and I've got this deep green, and it amazes me how the color stays. I mean, no matter how long I wash them, they're getting softer, but the color richness is still there. It
doesn't lose its properties.
It doesn't lose it. Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm glad that you mentioned the kitchen linen, because this is something I kind of revamped our kitchen linen collection, and right now in April we should get our first shipment from this new collection. I'm very excited.
Yay!
It's white with very gentle stripes that I hope is gonna match most of the kitchen interiors.
So now, if people want to buy from you, you are strictly e-commerce. Is this correct? You're not in stores.
Yes, we do have a brick and mortar store here in Denver called Modern Nomad. They carry our product, but that's going to be useful only for those who are in Denver or who would like to make a drive within Colorado. But as you correctly mentioned, we're beflaxlinen.com is the primary destination. Joanne and Kelly, I actually prepared a little surprise for your audience. I would like to share a 15% discount code for anyone who's interested to try Beflax.
Yes.
Nice. That's very exciting.
What's the code? What's the code? Yeah.
It's easy to remember. It's Kendrick Cole, just like your last names.
Perfect.
Okay, that's very exciting.
Ooh, we'll put that out on all of our social media.
Yes. And speaking of social media, you can find Katerina on Instagram. They're all under Beflax Linen, Twitter, Facebook, and you're also on LinkedIn.
That's right.
Yep. Well, thank you for that offer. I'm so excited. Yeah. I think I'll go use it myself.
I was about to say, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to go for it.
Yes, I've been perusing that site a little bit. It looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, hold on for us. Don't leave us yet. We're going to end our podcast like we do every one with our serious and our funny quotes to end the day. All right, which one you want?
I'll take the serious one today. and this is in regard to entrepreneurship, I think. A lot of people have ideas, but there are few who decide to do something about them now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. The true entrepreneur is a doer, not a dreamer. And that's from Nolan Bushnell, who I did not know who he was, so I looked it up, and he is the founder of Atari Corporation and Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theaters.
Wow.
He's a doer.
Yeah, do it now. Don't wait. All right, ready for a funny quote? Walk a mile in my shoes and you'll end up at Home Goods. That is so you and me.
That is so true.
That's terrible. Or you'll end up at Beflax Linen. There you go. All right. Well, Katerina, it was so fun talking to you and learning about your new business and being such a great entrepreneur and all about linen. Because, and when you start to go into home fashion, we're here for you, girl. Like, we'll be your consultants. We've got lots of opinions, and just give us a call.
I heard you. I'm waiting for the application for the Linen Anonymous board.
That is totally us.
Well, it was such a pleasure having you. And, I always learn something new. I mean, I never really realized about these wicking properties of linen.
Yeah. Well, you knew it was breathable, but you probably just didn't think about it.
I didn't think about it in bedding because I don't see it that much. I mean, I see it in clothing, but I don't. I mean, we've never really talked to anybody about 100% linen bedding. But
and it looks so good, kind of that really relaxed, comfortable, goes with the whole farmhouse
effortless
aesthetic.
style.
Effortless style.
Yes. Thank you so much, Katerina, and we'll be going on your site very soon and checking out what
Don't
we
forget
want.
that discount code, Kendra Cole.
Okay, thanks
Thank
everybody
you,
for
ladies.
listening.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Join Joanne and Kelly weekly for a lively conversation about trends, travels to industry events, current design projects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, do's and don'ts, product recommendations, and more. Be sure to follow the fun on Facebook. They're on Instagram at Kandrak Cole, and of course, you've got to visit them online at kandrak-cole.com for more information.